It's Friday, video time. I'm excited because this is something that I've been wanting to talk about for a while to people who really want to hear about it. So here it goes. I'm going to be a little nosy and I'm going to ask you in your business. And my question is, do you have a life insurance policy? Do you? Unfortunately, I know many people answered no to that question. And it may be because it's something that you haven't even considered or thought about. And that's fair. That's understandable. You know, we live our lives every day. We walk in and out of different stores and we get in our cars and we drive and oh my gosh, there's so many things that happen to us in the course of the day. Our lives hang in the balance. People leave home every day and never return. And so we don't know when death is going to come to each of us. So because of that, I'm hoping that the last thing you want to do is put your family through the headache of trying to decide what they're going to do financially about burying you. And a lot of people, they do wait to the last minute to think these things through. So I'm trying to encourage people not to do that. And the way that you prevent that from happening is by making a simple phone call. If you go to work every day, you have a job, you can afford life insurance. If you can go to Chick-fil-A for breakfast every morning, if you can go out to eat and have drinks on Friday evening, you know, for happy hour or whatever, you can get life insurance. And if you're a single person and you're in good health, it's not that expensive per month, okay? I pay $30 per month for my policy, and it's a nice policy. And it's going to ensure that my children and my family don't have to put my body somewhere and leave it there until they come up with the money to do something with my remains. I'm going to be real honest with you. People can't mourn you and miss you if they are resenting the fact that you died and could possibly leave them in debt. It's not going to be good for your memory. So the best thing for you to do is be proactive and be responsible while you can, and make sure that your family is secure in giving you what you need when you're no longer here. So I got my policy through New York Life, and I filled out some paperwork. I think I went online and requested some information. And at that time, Kwati was young. She was like 11, which means that Quinn was 8. And I made my sister Chanel and Ben my beneficiaries because I have also, we're going to talk about that too, a will. And it was set up so that Chanel would get what I wanted for Quinn and Kwati, and then Ben would get what I wanted for him. So I could split the policy up the way I wanted to. Now that was, about 7 years ago, 8 years ago. And it has increased over time, but nothing that's really significant. It comes out of my account every month. I don't even miss it. And you best believe I check to make sure it comes out of my account because I don't need it to lapse. And that's something also you need to make sure when you set it up, it comes out of an account where it will happen every month like clockwork, and that you have the money there so that you don't have to worry about missing a payment and then your policy lapsing. That's like really bad. Now you have options. There's whole life insurance, there's term life insurance. And when you start looking into the one that you prefer, make sure you're speaking to someone who can break it down for you to be able to understand which one is more beneficial for you. One of them is like the older you are, you know, the better it may be for you to get a whole life. The younger you are, term life. Some of them you can cash out. It's so many different options. And listen, you cannot be too young to die. If you have children, you need to have policies for your children as well. Okay? Because guess what? There's no guarantees in life. You're gonna want that money to take care of your children. Okay, so the next thing that goes hand in hand with life insurance is a will. Boy, I think one of the craziest things that people say about having a will is that they don't care. I'll be dead anyway. That's not fair. It's not fair to leave your desires and wants to the interpretation of everybody in your life that cared about you or loved you. If you write it down and you say, this is what I want to happen with my favorite rug, hopefully there will be people who care enough to make sure your favorite rug goes where it needs to go. What if you don't want to be cremated? You want to be buried? You need to say that. There are certain things that just have to be written out. You need a will. Now, if people choose not to respect your will, of course, you're dead. You'll never know. But there is a better chance of things happening for your loved ones in a smooth way so that they can mourn you and not be pissed about the process if you make a will. Simple as that. Even if you say in the will, I want Felicia to have the only say in what she feels is necessary for my burial process, then Felicia will have a say. Hopefully everybody will respect that. But if you say nothing and then Felicia tries to say what she thinks, she's probably going to catch hell. Because death brings out the worst in people, some people. So before I start going off on a tangent about how I know for a fact this stuff can really be a pain in the ass, 2020, make yourself a promise. Call someone from a reputable company, get a life insurance policy. Most of the time, they also have things set up where you can do a will. It's very important. It's not something that you can keep putting on the back burner. It's something that you need to do and make that a priority while you can. If you look back at 2019, so many people that were here this time last year, not here this year. And it'll be the same thing for 2020. So therefore, death, you know it, it's inevitable. The best thing for you to do is be prepared. So going into 2020, don't let January pass you by. Don't let February come and you haven't made a priority to put together a will and put together a life insurance policy for those that you love. Check with your families, mom, dad, a cousin, a friend. Check in with people. Ask them. Don't be afraid to ask. I know people don't like to talk about death, but you have to before you have to really suffer through burying someone because they weren't prepared. And this is not an endorsement for any insurance company. I don't have any stock anywhere to where I'm looking for a payout. So yes, I mentioned where my policy is because that may give some people a jump start on where to look for a policy. But like I said, you can go to many different entities. I'm not endorsing the one that I use. I'm just telling you that my process was very easy through them. And I have that policy for not only myself, but my children have policies. And I would recommend that you do something and you do it before it's too late. That's me, just being a Miss Know-It-all. I hope it helps somebody.